it's very typical of Manchester United to just be like, oh, Sevilla, where are they? What, they came in the top four? Yeah, similar to us, but it's Sevilla. You know, they're not big. They're not as big as us. So, yeah, we'll win it, no problem. And then you're 2-0 down at 80 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Hi guys, and welcome back to another Q&A Extra, where we take a deep dive into one of your questions from our YouTube community tab. So myself and Angelina are here to discuss Umar Mohammed's question. He says, do you think United can overcome Sevilla? Sevilla are having a brilliant season, having finished top 4 in La Liga and now reaching the European semis. They're not easy opponents. United have to give their best. The question is that, are United really the favourites for this game?
I wouldn't say they're the favourites.
Maybe in the English media.
Yeah, for the English media, they're the favourites. I mean, the thing you have to remember is this is Sevilla's competition. Like, they own this competition. Manchester United certainly do not. I think, as it was said in the question, Sevilla are a fantastic team. They've had a great season. They've got some great players. They, like I say, they are well experienced in this competition. They know how to dig deep and get a good result. And you know, not taking away from Manchester United. I think watching that Copenhagen game, although Copenhagen were a fantastic team, they put on a fantastic display, especially the goalkeeper.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Chelsea rumours as well.
That's such a Chelsea move. Any goalkeeper.
They're after him. But I think that it took another penalty for them to just edge through with Copenhagen. Doesn't fill me with confidence.
Yeah.
And there's been quite a few United results recently where it's been it's not been as plain sailing as people think. And I think for that reason, you have to think, well, it's definitely not signed, sealed and done. I think it's going to be a very tough game for Manchester United. I think people that think that United are just going to breeze past, it would be great to see it into United final, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're going to be able to breeze past this team at all. I think they're going to have to dig deep. United's team are looking tired. They are going to have to put out their best starting 11. This is not going to be a case where they can have, Dan James starting and maybe Pereira. This is, in some ways, like the team you'd be playing in the final to an extent, you need to be playing here because you need to get through this game. You need your strongest players, and especially with them being so tired at the moment, in my opinion anyway, from what I've seen, it's 100% going to be tough. Whoever they start in goal as well with this De Gea Romero situation. Romero's, odd little mistake here and there, but he's been all right. Is Rashford, going to get a goal? I know Greenwood had one disallowed, Martial. Yeah. There's a lot of variables. So, yeah, I don't think the favourites.
I would think on paper, United look like they've got a stronger team.
Yeah, I would say so.
The front three of Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, with then Pogba and Fernandes behind, and Maguire at centre-back, maybe De Gea in goal. On paper, but I think that's maybe just the fact that Sevilla, I feel like they go a little bit unnoticed in La Liga, certainly from outside of Spanish football. Because obviously there's such a big focus on the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona. But they, as you say, they've done fantastically well to finish in the top 4. A really good team. They do have their stars, especially I think Lucas Ocampos is brilliant. And yeah, with Sevilla, I watched the game against Wolves. And yes, they won 1-0 quite late on. But they were so good. They were so dominant. I didn't quite expect it of Sevilla. I never really associated them with such a dominant team, but they silenced Adama Traore. Apart from the penalty, he was rubbish the rest of the game, and Wolves took him off, I think, with about 15
and I think
ago.
That's the difference in that Copenhagen game. Again, it might have been like a little 1-0 win. I don't think United dominated that game 100%. Yeah. I think Copenhagen still had their chances, and if it wasn't, it wasn't as obvious for me that. Do you know what I mean? They didn't fill me with as much confidence as Sevilla did.
Yeah,
that way.
Exactly. And then that's what you mean. If you didn't watch the game and you just saw that Sevilla won late on, you'd be like, oh, they just scraped past Wolves with a late goal. United should beat them. But that's not the case. Yeah. That is not the case. Sevilla were very good. throughout the game. Yes, they didn't create too many clear-cut chances. I think they need a better goal scorer up front. But they certainly were really, really solid at the back, and I think it will definitely be a test. I'm going for a much closer game than people think, but now this comes down to the important part. We talk about teams being good teams and then other teams just having one or two moments of magic from brilliant players. I think there is more game winners in the Manchester United team.
Yes.
I think if Sevilla dominate the match and they're thinking, we've played a really good game against Manchester United, you fall asleep for 1 second, Pogba pulls something out the bag.
Yeah.
And if it's not him, it's Bruno Fernandes. And if it's not him, it's Rashford. Then it's Martial. Then it's Greenwood. And I just think that if it was a tighter game, it wouldn't necessarily bother Manchester United. Firstly, because they're very good on the counter when it comes to speed, because, their attacking players are phenomenally fast, especially those front three. But secondly, I just think there's more game winners in the United squad, which would suit them down to the ground. If they're up against it and they've got to fight back against Sevilla, I feel like Sevilla can be pretty solid, and that would suit them. But if Sevilla are chasing the game and they leave themselves open to a counter, or it's level, I feel like United have just got, like we said, the match winner to get a goal.
Like you say, it depends what happens in this game. I feel like if first half Manchester United dominate and they maybe manage to get a goal, I think I'd be going into the second half pretty confident.
Yeah.
I think if it's a little bit shaky, kind of end to end, 0-0 at half time, I will be a little bit more concerned because, again, I just think, could it end up being, having to go to extra time, having to get a penalty, having to keep your fingers crossed? And that's my only concern. And again, the fitness of maybe one or two players. But I do agree, I think you look on paper and I think, and again, as much as I say Sevilla are experienced in the Europa League, Manchester United still have a lot of experienced players in Europe in general.
European football,
So I get what you mean. I think United probably have a few more people that could get a goal. I mean, even if, like, your midfield, even somebody like, although he wasn't fantastic the other night, but even still, someone like Juan Mata who's got that experience to come on and do like a little pass or something like that. I agree with that one, but it's very typical of Manchester United to just be like, Sevilla, where are they? What, they came in the top four? Yeah, similar to us, but it's Sevilla, they're not big, they're not as big as us, so we'll win it, no problem. And then you're 2-0 down at 80 minutes, do you know what I mean? So
correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they knock United out of the Champions League a few years ago? I feel like Wissam Ben Yedder scored a few goals. Ben Yedder scored a few goals at Old Trafford and they knocked out United.
Yeah.
So, I think there's potential. Also, like we've seen with the late goals, and especially in the PSG Champions League match, like you said, the fitness is a big thing. Yeah.
United playing all that extra time the other night. Well,
playing the extra time. But I'm picturing something like some tired legs, and then all of a sudden Dan James is running at you. And the Sevilla defence are very tired, or it's, Greenwood or Martial, and, they give away a penalty because they dangle out a leg. I think, as we say, we saw in the PSG game, Mbappe came on for the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and just every time they ran through, the Atalanta defenders were like, oh, shit.
And I guess that's the thing, is that if you look at Manchester United's bench, they have, like you say, Dan James, even somebody like Igalo who's managed to get the odd goal or two here and there. Even somebody, depending, like Brandon Williams, players that have got those legs on them that you could maybe trust to sub on.
Yeah, exactly.
But like that you can sub on and you feel like they'll create something. Whether it's a penalty or whatever.
They'll create something, and also it's like, it's proper knockout football.
Yeah.
One leg, 90 minutes. If you've got 10 minutes to go, you might as well say to Dan James, go on, and you don't stop running for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you just cause havoc for an already very tired Sevilla defence. Of course, we're saying this, and the same could go the other way.
True.
As well, someone like Munir could come on especially in. I know Jesus Navas is a right back and will probably be starting the whole game, but these quicker players who have got bags of energy.
Yeah.
When there's a bit of a sloppy and a tired defence for either side, mistakes can happen. And I think when these mistakes happen, United have got more players who can punish than Sevilla do.
Yeah.
I think.
Interesting game.
Ever so slightly. It will be phenomenally interesting. And once the game has happened and you guys are watching this video, let us know how it went in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts and how it went down and if we were correct. Can you imagine if we were? If there was just like a tired leg, a late penalty, and we're sat there real chuffed. Unless it's to Sevilla, in which case you'll be devastated.
Yeah, I'll be crying.
But anyway, thank you so much for all of your questions as always. And Wednesday night in the YouTube community tab is where you can leave them for the Q&A. And we take a few more for the Q&A extras as well. But yeah, that's all for myself and Angelina. So let us know your thoughts and your thoughts on the game once it's over and done with. Smash the like button. Check out everything else we're doing. And until next time, we will see you guys later.